welcome to another Chef Ramon episode. Today I'm going to do a Tortilla Española at a request of my friend Sebastian and my colleague at work, who asked me to show you how to make Tortilla Española. Funnily enough, it's not very easy. There are two very important things about Tortilla Española, and that is potato and olive oil. You will see a lot of olive oil used. Don't get scared, you'll see that it all goes away. Because the egg is actually to bind the potato together. And then there's two types of Tortilla Española. One is just with potato, and my favorite is potato and onion. So I'm going to show you the potato and onion, but you can always leave the onion part out. It's a traditional one. It's eaten with bread, with olive oil, or pan boli, as we call it here in Mallorca, and nice fresh cerveza. That is lovely. So in a minute, I'm going to show you all the ingredients that you need and take you through the whole process. You have to be patient, and you may screw it up the first time, but don't worry, you'll get it right. It took me a long time to get it up right, and I'm going to thank my friend Javier and Javier's mom, who taught me how to make this beautiful dish. Right, so let's talk about the ingredients. First of all, have a look at this. I made that earlier, so you can see how it looks like. Okay, that's a small one. For that, I used a pan like that. It is very, very important that it's non-stick pan, okay? And when you wash these pans, you should use this side of a sponge, right? Because that side will scratch it. Okay, so I'm going to use that. That's about, I suppose, 25 centimeters more or less inside, with a depth of about, I wrote it here somewhere, 5 to 6 centimeters. Okay, you need that because you need the tortilla to rise. Okay, that's number one. You need 2 plates, one for carrying it around and one for serving. So I have that, and it needs to cover your pan because that's what you're going to do to turn the tortilla around. Now I've peeled some potatoes. The kind of potatoes I use is the frying kind. Why? Because they have a lot of starch and they don't fall apart too quickly. I have got here about 6 potatoes, and the point is you need to fill this up with potato almost to the top, so don't be scared because it goes down as we go. 1 onion, as I said, there's 2 types, so I've got 1 onion here. You don't have to use the onion if you don't want to. And for that kind of tortilla, I've got 6 eggs, 6 large eggs, and free range, so it's very important. So I'm going to show you how to cut the potato. Potatoes are cut like this. I basically cut it in half, do a few slivers, and cut them like that. Okay, so you want it to be about like that size. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do all of that very quickly. Okay, I remember my sous chefs in the restaurant. I bugged them because I said, I'm going to test how good your cooking is. Make me a Tortilla Española. Of course, it was very difficult and they all failed. But with practice, this becomes perfect. Okay, so you can see I'm just chopping the potatoes in smallish pieces. Okay, it's important for the potato not to be too chunky because it takes longer. Okay, but you do need a lot of potatoes. So I use sort of like a medium to large sizes. Of course, you can never tell with potatoes. There are all kinds of different sizes and shapes. Okay, so that's my potato. One more. Right, so that's my potato. Now, I'm going to put all that potato inside my pan without it being heated. Okay, I'm going to do it the easy way. Let's put it all in here. And you can see that it fills up almost my pan. So, very important as much as possible, because remember what I said is about potato and olive oil. Okay? Then I put a good glog of olive oil in it. Don't be scared because it needs to be halfway full basically. So I'm going to use a lot. Right, it will rise up in a minute. then what I'm gonna do with that, no salt, no pepper at this stage, right? That goes in the egg. So I'm gonna put that on the heat. I'm gonna give it a, I'm gonna put it on high to start sizzling. Then I'm gonna lower the temperature, okay? Because what you don't wanna do is have French fries. What you wanna do is have nice fluffy potatoes that are not so discolored, right? Not burnt. Now, the onion, which is for later, but I'm gonna chop it up anyway. I'm gonna show you. So I'll do my onion in quite small pieces, right? So, doesn't matter if they're any bit bigger or not, but you don't want it to be huge. So nice and small. There we go. So that's my onion. That's gonna be used later. Now, as for the eggs, I've got 6 eggs. So what I do is break them in. I used to have my own chickens in the hotel, so I was quite lucky. So I got some skin in there. I'm just gonna take that out. Quite lucky because I had fresh, free-range eggs. I knew what chickens ate, so I knew what the product was like. Okay, so just gonna give my hand a wash. Right, then you need some salt. Remember, salt in the egg is important, and remember that the potato will absorb the salt, so you need to have it a bit more salty than you think. Okay, so I put about 4 or 5 pinches of salt in there. Okay, normally you don't use pepper and tortilla, but I like it, so I use a little tad of pepper in there. All right, and then you just mix it. What you don't want to do with mixing it is you don't want to have foam on it, so just mix it enough to have it mixed, basically. Okay, so I think that's pretty good to me. The egg is all mixed, not so foamy, so that's about right. Okay, so my temperature was set at the beginning to high, right? As you can see here, it's on 9, which is the highest I have. Now it's starting sizzling, and you may be hearing it on a horrible microphone I have. I'm just going to give it a good stir. And then what I want to do is I want to put it on 5. And what's going to happen now, this is going to slowly fry and steam at the same time, because as I said before, what you don't want to do is have fries. What you want to do is have nice, not so yellow colored, fried looking potatoes. And while that's happening, once in a while you have to come and stir it, okay? And you can see how much oil you have here. I mean, there's a lot of oil here, right? Don't be scared of that. That's all gonna go away in a minute. You will see. So what is important, and I'm gonna come back because this is gonna take a while. So I'm gonna come back when it's all done, but you keep having to watch it. So now you can see I've put it on 5, okay? And that's gonna cook. Once in a while you have to do that, and you will see it becomes fluffy and it breaks, and that's when it's ready to put your onion in. Okay, all right, see you in a bit. Okay, so now this has been for about 8 to 10 minutes, and you can see they're starting to come apart a bit. Still not ready, but it's almost ready. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add my onion to it. At this point, you don't have to put onion in it, as I said, but I like it with onion. Actually, a lot of Spanish people like it tortilla with onion. Again, onion doesn't have to be cooked very much. It needs to be steamed. Nice. Look at that. That's beautiful. So I'm gonna stir that in and leave it for another 5 minutes, and then we're ready to put it into the egg. See you in 5 minutes. Okay, so you can see now this is all beautifully done. The way you know it's done, and you can see it's not like very colored, it needs to be white. because it's been on a very low temperature on 5, and you can see the potato just comes apart. Okay, so that's well ready. Take it off the heat, leave the heat on, take it off the heat, and what I'm going to use is one of these so that I don't put all the potato in the egg. Now the important thing is you put the potato in the egg, not the other way around, right? Because then it becomes very, very bad. So basically you take all the potato and the onion that I have in there, and you put it all into your egg. Okay, try and keep as much of the olive oil as you can, because we're going to use the same olive oil to actually cook the tortilla. Okay, that's why I said very important. It's the olive oil that makes a tortilla taste so beautiful. So you try and use nice virgin olive oil and not one cheap one that you bought from the supermarket, but a good quality one, because all the taste is in the olive oil. Okay, so now you can see, let me just take the last bits and pieces out here. Onion, so I don't want it to burn. There we go. Now you can see I still have a lot of olive oil in there. I'm going to leave that, very important, off the heat. Okay, everything with a tortilla is very genteel, as they say in France. My friend Sebastian, this is for you. So then what you want to do is stir it. Remember, you can at this point adjust the salt. You can just put your finger in it or a spoon and taste it. I know it sounds disgusting with raw egg, but actually it's not dangerous. What you want to do now is leave that for about a minute or so, because the potato starts cooking the egg, and that's a very important stage. So now you keep it here for exactly a minute. Okay, so now it's been here for a minute, and now remember, this was off the heat. My heat's still on, because you want to do it everything quite slowly. So put it all back in to the pan. Don't worry about the oil floating. I know everybody's thinking, oh my god, a lot of fat. No, it's all gonna come back out. Don't worry, I'll show you how. So that's in the pan. Now I'm gonna put it back on the same temperature as it was for about 5 minutes. What you do need is one of these, okay? Because once in a while you may need to go around the edge to make sure it's not sticking, okay? And shake it a little bit to make sure it's even, right? But in 5 minutes exactly, and I timed it before because I did one before, it'll be done and it'll be ready for it to be turned around. So I'll see you at the turnaround stage. Okay, so this has been on the heat for about 5 minutes. As you can see, the sides are nicely done, right? Just making sure it's good. Give it a good shake. Now here's the tricky part. What you need to do is cover it with a plate. Take it to the sink, okay? And this is a very quick action, right? Don't worry if some liquid comes out, but it's a very quick action. Just like that. And voila, you've got a beautiful omelette. So what I'm gonna do now is off the heat, I'm gonna get my spatula, and I'm gonna put it back into the pan very quickly, okay? As quickly as possible. Don't worry if the middle is a bit sunk in, no problem. Okay, so that's gone in. You can see I'm tucking the sides, and I'm going to put it back on the heat that I had, same heat, medium, for another 5 minutes. Make sure as you go along at this stage you keep tucking it in to make sure that you don't have very rough edges, okay? That's about beauty more than anything else, but it only looks much better. Okay, see you in 5 minutes. What we're going to do, so it's been there for 5 minutes. I'm going to now cover it and then go back to the sink. And here is where you get, rid of most of the oil, right? So you just do that and get rid of all that oil that you were all worried about, right? So, and then the grand result is the following: a beautiful tortilla. Okay, so now we're gonna take this over and eat it. Right, now here's the big time. We're gonna eat it. So how we like to eat it in Mallorca is with something called pan boli. So this is a little tomato, very nice and juicy from Mallorca, but you can use any tomato. I'm gonna cut it in half. I've got 2 toast breads here, and I've got half garlic. So I'm gonna rub this garlic on my bread, toast bread. Oops, I broke that one. Don't rub it too hard, obviously. Then I'm gonna rub my tomato on it. Look at that. Then I'm gonna put some salt. All right. And I'm gonna add a little tiny bit of olive oil. And that's called pan oli, which means pan con aceite de oliva, or in English, bread with olive oil, because we add tomato and garlic to it. So that goes here. And then what we're gonna do is check out our tortilla. Normally I would wait for it so that it's a little bit cooler before I cut it, but I can't wait because it's so beautiful. So look at that. So I'm gonna just take a chunk out and serve it. Look at that. Look at that beauty. And I'm gonna serve it with my pan boli. And of course, you cannot go without a nice glass of beer. Nice blonde beer, okay? And here we go. I'm gonna taste that with my little pan boli. Okay, I take a piece of that. Beautiful, and of course pan boli. And you wash it down with a beautiful beer. And to my friend Sebastian, enjoy this. And to Javier and Javier's mom, thank you for showing me how to do that.